Hi sis, it's me, Courtney. Honey, we done made it. We have made it. So I gotta give myself a pat on the back like, sus, we made it. Okay, cause like low key, I thought I had this OBS understood and set up, and I feel like a few of you guys hopped on the OBS live with me, and it was a tragic moment. Like I really didn't understand. I was like, why is it not working? What is going on? I can't even hear anything. I don't know if y'all could have heard anything. And yeah, so I just had to drop that by the wayside because literally I kept pushing it back. I was like, I'm confused. Something's happening and I don't know what is happening. So we made it. I had to revert back to my phone. Y'all know our phone live just be working for us. So I really feel like if anybody knows how to properly use OBS, shoot me a DM. I need a tutorial because all the YouTube videos I've watched didn't help. Like I feel like I set the scenes up properly this time. However, my main issue was that I was having some problems with the sound. Something. I need a tutorial. So if anybody really knows how to use OBS, send me a message. Help your sis out because that didn't work today. Okay. Y'all. So first of all, let's jump into the fact that I'm in a new country because I know y'all have been waiting for me to drop this for y'all. I know y'all like, Courtney, why you playing games with us, girl? Where are we at? Where you at? What's up? So a lot of y'all guessed. Really, only two of y'all guessed right, and I feel like yesterday we had a little moment where y'all probably, well, some of y'all probably was like, oh, I could see some wording. I could see some, a little one or two. So I feel like most of y'all kind of got it already. I am in South Korea. So I'm not in Seoul. I'm in this place called Pyeongtaek. I have a friend who lives here. It's so divine, y'all, because I met her in Vietnam. Her name's Lisa, and she runs the Nomad Peeps podcast. So follow her on Instagram because we have been filming some podcasts. So if y'all want to see what's up, or just see some of the episodes that I do with her, definitely follow her so you can, be notified as soon as she drops those podcasts. So basically, hey boo. So basically, y'all. Oh, girl, I'm just so excited because I literally still am pinching myself. Like, I still can't even believe that I'm in South Korea right now. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I made it. Ah. So, yeah, so I actually have two friends here. So, Lisa's here, and basically, I just have to tell y'all real quick how divine this is because basically I met Lisa when I was still in Vietnam. I feel like I had just moved to Ho Chi Minh City, and I have another friend from from our community, honey. Girl, I can't even think of her name. Her handle is Dear J Renee. Her name is Jessica. Girl, my head just kind of did a couple of different things. So her name is Jessica. Her handle is Dear J Renee. She used to be popping up all through our lives or whatever, and she happened to be in Ho Chi Minh. So I linked up with Jessica in like a couple of different places because y'all remember when I was in Asia, I basically was telling y'all, if you come to the city that I'm in, just hit me up because I'll always be down to link up. So I met her in Thailand, and I met Jessica in Vietnam, and I feel like I met up with her somewhere else. Either way, basically the second time that I met up with Jessica was in Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh City. And basically, when you texting a friend and y'all planning to link up and then you get there and she done brought somebody else, like that's kind of what happened. But I wasn't even tripping. The friend that she brought was Lisa. And this was around November, which we didn't even realize this until like I got here to Korea, right? So me and Lisa was like, when she met me, we were all talking in the group, and she didn't even realize that it was me because apparently she had stumbled on some of my videos before she had even came to Ho Chi Minh because she's a chef, really dope human being, y'all, like just dope, right? And she was working in Australia for 3 years, like helping open up restaurants and working as a key chef or like the head chef. So she was doing her thing, right? Doing her thug thizzle in Australia. And I feel like she also worked on some cruise ships as well. we'll have to have her on for a video so that she can kind of give y'all all the tea of like, you know, where she been and what she been doing, because she been making it happen. And basically the timeline kind of goes like, before she left Australia, she had stumbled on my videos, because you know when people are coming to Vietnam or wherever they are, like black people, we always put in like black in Vietnam or black in da 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 or wherever you at. And so I popped up, and so she was watching some of my videos, just kind of figuring out like, oh, is this gonna be a good move for me or what? And then literally I feel like she met Jessica on some kind of app. Like Jessica is in a bunch of stuff, she's been traveling. Jessica's like, girl, Jessica's a whole married woman now. However, she's been traveling since like she was in college, so it's been a good chunk of time, and she's in all kind of little things on the internet. So some kind of way they connected. Jessica invited her out with us, and I didn't even know. And then I get there, and we all like there and having a little moment, but we all vibed, y'all. Like it was just such a vibe. And then when she realized, she was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even realize." And I was like, "Girl, yeah, it is I." So we literally, from that point, when I tell y'all we've just stayed in contact, this is why this channel means so much to me and why y'all mean so much to me. Because like when I tell y'all, I really feel like I'm building my sister circle, I'm building my tribe, you know, our support system is growing, because literally it's just, this has given me the opportunity to connect with so many amazing spirits, and just that good authentic energy that I want to be around. Because y'all know how it could be sometimes, you know, making friends sometimes that don't have your best interest at heart, or that just be playing games and just all kind of craziness that you like, sis, we can't be friends no more. I can't fuck with you and your energy, no. So yeah, so I'm just so grateful. I'm just like, yes, yes. So basically we have stayed in touch ever since that point, and I feel like I left, this was at the beginning of my journey in Ho Chi Minh. So I've been on her for at least 2 years now. So we just, you know, we're both creators as well. She has her YouTube channel, we always want to call her No Madness. It's not No Madness, it's No Mad Peeps. So No Mad Peeps on Instagram, on YouTube. Go follow her, get up to date, because she's the truth, y'all. Like, she's the truth. So basically we just be, you know, we've been like staying in touch with each other because we're both creators, and y'all know how I am. I'm always down to share the information, and I always be hyping everybody up who around me, like, come on sis, you can do it, come on, let's get it, what you finna do, what you finna put out, let's make it happen. And so we've just been growing our bond since we met. Since we met, we've been growing our bond, and we stayed in contact. And then basically I was like, girl, I'm gonna bring my ass to South Korea, because y'all also remember I did that other live when I was home the first time with Yolisima. So remember, Yolisima was kind of on the fence. She didn't know if she was gonna come to South Korea or what, and she was just kind of like trying to make a decision. So Yolisima made it, and she is like, girl, enjoying her whole life. I actually connected Yolisima and Lisa, so they got to meet, hang out, and all that good jazz. So I actually already saw Yolisima when I first got here, because I linked up with her mom. Girl, her mom was a whole blessing to me. Like, when I tell y'all, we had a conversation that was just so divine. And I must drop this little tidbit for y'all, because basically y'all know how I am. Like, I cut people off if the energy is not serving, you know, or if it's just like triggering energy, or just like some fuck shit. I'd be like, nah, you can go somewhere else with that. And I'm like, I guess people don't really understand how real it is for me, or how easy it is for me to just remove myself from situations. Because I feel like sometimes when I do this, people be getting in their feelings, they be getting salty. However, at the same time, it's like, me or you, I'm gonna choose me, period. Like, we all must choose ourselves. We are walking a journey, you know, where we are here for a purpose. So if we're around energy that's not serving us, it's gonna hinder us from what we meant to do. So you gotta be cutthroat sometimes. Like, baby, look, you cool and all, however, something about your energy ain't working for me, and I can't do it no more. So bye. And basically this has always been my energy, even from like me being a young woman, like just not even being a child. Like, I just remember cutting people off at young ages, just like, I don't like you no more. You know. And when I was talking to Yolisima's mom, one of the things that she was telling me about was the importance of properly cutting people off, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, soul ties are real. Sometimes people, you know, get so upset that they miss your energy so much that they'll start trying to do little stuff on the spiritual realm, and we don't want none of that. You know, we want to go forth and live our best life, period. So she was telling me a saying to say, which basically was, um, I release you back into the universe and I hope you find your rightful place. And that is that. Like, literally just saying that statement and moving on from it. And whatever, you know, like just letting it go. Like, period. I've let you go, I've released you, and I'm done with it. I don't got no ill will, no ill harm against you, but I'm done with it. So I met up with Yalisima when I first got here because her mom sent a few things with me when I came. So I text her though because I was like, girl, we need to link up before I go because I'm planning. So I got like a 90-day visa, right? Which I feel like I'm going to use my whole 90-day visa. However, I'm feeling like I'm only gonna be in this part of Korea because this part, Pyeongtaek, is like, it's a smaller town. This is where Lisa lives, so like I'm staying with Lisa at the moment, and she's about 40 minutes from Seoul. She's about 40 minutes from Seoul. And the first night that I came, we actually did Halloween in Seoul. It was so lit, y'all. Like, it was so freaking lit. Like, it was everything. And I must say, they do live up to the hype of like how they like to party and just, you know, their love of hip hop and love of good music, you know, because even like one place we went to, I want to say it was called Browns. They was playing all old school hip hop, y'all. Like, it was a vibe, okay? Like, it was a vibe. So I'm very, very, very excited. So the plan as of now, I have 90 days. I've been here about, I feel like almost 2 weeks now, and I'm planning to stay for about 6 weeks in Pyeongtaek, and then go into like another area. Hold up. Hey, Lisa. Lisa say, where were you teaching English in Brazil? Girl, no, I don't teach English anymore. This is what I've been telling my spirit team. I don't teach English anymore because I make enough money to support myself through social media. Praise God. Amen. No, y'all. Like, really, I have to be honest because y'all know, like, the online teaching was kind of my thing after Vietnam. Like, I just kind of saved a good chunk of money before I left Vietnam, and then I rolled out because, like, by the end of that time in Vietnam, as much as I love Vietnam, right? Like, I love Vietnam, and sometimes I have to, I've noticed at some points I've had to kind of like check myself because I'm like, you know, sometimes when you have bad experiences with people, you kind of associate that whole place with it, and I'm like, really? I don't want to do that to Vietnam because in true honesty, I love Vietnam. It has a special place in my heart. I will always go back and visit there. You know, like my little Vietnamese family is up there too, and I truly felt connected to them. Like one of my friends who's a psychic, she was like they was my family in another life. So I truly, truly, truly feel connected to Vietnam. So I don't want it to come off like I ain't fucking with Vietnam or anything like that. However, I was in a very bad state by the end of Vietnam because it was just a lot of energy around me that I didn't like, and I just truly felt like it was energy vampires all around me. And I really had a moment where I was like, why am I hanging out with all these people that I don't like? What is going on? You know, so just being so connected and then having to disconnect, like it was like I was going through a major transition. So when I left, I basically saved up my money and rolled the hell out. And I was teaching online. Like I had set up profiles with VIP Kid, .apc, italki. And honestly, y'all, I did that for a bit, and it's kind of like fell by the wayside. Like it's like that's not my passion. I'm walking more in my purpose. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing more spiritually led things. You know, if that makes sense. And I'm also going to school full time online. So I'm taking classes online, and I've basically been putting out things. So for instance, I've been doing a lot of accountability activities, like Last month we did a fitness accountability activity. This month we're doing a meditation accountability activity. So if you don't know, like if you're not following me on Instagram, y'all, you need to be following me on Instagram. Like that's like the home front. Like we got a nice community happening over here. However, think of this as a full ecosystem, right? It's like you meet me at different points online, right? And y'all know I'm still kind of working out my kinks over here, like how often I'm showing up on this end. However, Instagram is like the place that I be showing up most frequently. Just kind of being honest, that's where I show up most frequently, especially in the stories. So if you go over there, I've kind of changed a few things around, especially my bio, because I feel like I'm a virtual accountability partner. Like that's really what I am at the moment, you know. So I've been doing a lot of accountability activities. So this month we're doing a guided meditation accountability activity. So basically the link is actually in this bio. So if you want to check that out, go to the bio in this video, click the link and register. It's actually starting a bit later than intended just because of the way that the internet has been happening. However, basically the way this works is like 4 weeks, and we do an accountability activity based off of what everyone has voted for in the stories. This month we're doing meditation. So Monday through Friday, I'm providing a meditation that I like, that I feel like will be useful and resonate with you as well. And it's normally like a 10-minute guided meditation. And this is just to kind of get you more used to meditating, you know. And last month we did like a fitness one. So I had like different fitness goals that we had to accomplish each month, each week, or not each week, each day. And that really worked really well. And this is actually the second guided meditation, and everybody loved it who was a part of it. So we're bringing it back. In December, I'm feeling like we need to do, it's a couple of things on the table, because I did a poll like about 2 months ago, and this was about like people who like asking if anybody needed therapy, because I have a friend who basically is a licensed therapist, and she's been practicing and doing a couple of things. So I'm basically thinking about teaming up with her. We're still talking about how we're gonna set it up, where we'll offer some therapy sessions. Like I don't know if it's gonna be weekly or monthly. I'm still out. However, like we're still determining how we're gonna do the therapy sessions. However, keep an eye for that, because that's gonna be coming. And then also with the end of the year, you know, like you want to be planning, you want to be getting things together. And y'all know I really love bullet journals. So before November ends, I'm gonna put up another poll for the accountability activity that's gonna happen for December. Okay, so if you're interested in the meditation that's happening this month, click the link, go ahead and register. Don't worry about the days, because we're a little bit off just because of the internet quality. The internet is not bad, it's just that it's retrograde right now, y'all. So it's like during retrograde, things start to act funny. Internet starts to act funny, electronics start to act funny, and I've been definitely having a little moment with some things, especially yesterday. I just had to bring it back one time. I just had to I just had to woo. I was like, because I was definitely having a moment, and I was talking kind of crazy to my spirit too, because I was like, how y'all not gonna make this work? Like I was definitely having a moment, because I'm like, now we done had a conversation about when I need to do some things, and y'all playing you know. So yeah, I didn't teach at all. And honestly, yeah, I had no intentions of teaching in South America, because for me, teaching English is about the money. It's about the money. You know, like teaching English is not something that I'm passionate about. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, I love teaching my little kids, especially my kindergarten kids. Like they were so freaking cute. Like I truly miss them. However, at the same time, that's not why I came abroad. That is not my passion. Like my passion was makeup. Oh my God, I didn't even tell y'all I gave my makeup kit away. I gave my makeup kit away while I was in Rio. We got a lot to talk about. I'm trying to tell y'all we got a lot to talk about. This is gonna be a long live, okay? So yeah, basically, yeah, if I'm not making money with teaching English, I don't want to be doing it. Like if I'm not making the type of money that I want to be making, I don't want to be doing it. Like period. You know, like girl, I know. She's like, what? I know, same thing. Girl, it took I had a moment. I really had a moment. However, I had to listen to my spirit, and my spirit is like, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a bigger calling on my life, and I gotta pay attention, and I gotta listen up, and I gotta actually be walking through where my angels and my spirit teams are telling me to go. Girl, she said you are truly transitioning. Yes, honey, I am. We are moving forward, honey. We are getting to our highest divine good. Praise God. Amen. So, yeah. So, I don't even know where to start because I had like a whole plan. Cause like, you know, I thought this OBS was gonna work for us, and I'd be able to show y'all some pictures and just all of the things, because like real shit, I feel like I feel like we hadn't done a legit live since like Colombia. Yeah, it's been a minute and I can't even show y'all anything. I'm sorry. If anybody knows again how to do OBS, please hit me up because I need a tutorial and these YouTube videos ain't helping me. So please help me. Thank you. So maybe we can get it together in this week so that next week, for next week's live, fingers crossed, we can get it together and I can show y'all some pictures and videos and things like that, because I'm still editing some things. I'm still editing. However, I'm making a transition to basically doing social media more effortlessly, if that makes sense, because social media was stressing me out. Like, this is a whole job, y'all. This is a whole job. However, at the same time, I'm creating in a way that flows with me, you know, because it's like I'm feeling like it's about the balance, you know what I mean? And I don't want to spend all my days editing. That ain't fun. That ain't fun, sis, and I don't want to do that no more. So like, this is why we're incorporating new things for y'all, like the travel moments, you know, because later on I can go back and chop those up and add and make vlogs out of that. However, at the same time, it's like a lot easier for me to take you along the journey as the journey is happening, because I realized I've been hoarding a lot of content. Like, really, y'all, I've been hoarding a lot of content. Like, if y'all go to my cloud, y'all will be mad as hell with all the content that I've been hoarding. And it's just like, you know, sometimes in the process of like, you know, trying to figure out how to do certain things, and the process of branding, and just the process of it all, of this social media element as a business, it can be overwhelming. And then before you know it, it's like, well, I done got some new content now, so let me focus on that. So yeah, basically I'm incorporating a bunch of new things so that we can be great, and so that y'all can get the content more. So this is exciting that I finally am able to reveal that I am in South Korea. So now I can start to share some of the travel moments from South Korea, because I want to show y'all like the hostel we stayed at the first night when I was here. I got some videos from like our first night out. Just, it's a couple of different things that I've already been able to gather, so y'all will be seeing these travel moments this week, okay, and going into next week as well. So I'm very very, very, very excited. So let's go back to like what's kind of been transitioning, because I feel like the last time that we touched base was in Colombia, and it might have been when I was in Cartagena. Now, as a whole, I don't know, we haven't done a video about my experience in Colombia. I didn't like Colombia. Okay, like now that I've left Colombia, like I ain't like Colombia, y'all, and I would do Colombia again. I just feel like Colombia gets a lot of hype. I don't know what it is about Colombia, because when I first went to Colombia, for some reason Colombia had always been conditioned into my head like it was dope or something, and I was like really thinking I was gonna have a vibe, and it wasn't really a vibe for me. Granted, I had an amazing time for Carnival in Barranquilla, and granted, I met some really amazing spirits in Cartagena. However, as a whole, that trip wasn't it. You know what I mean? That trip just wasn't it. And I stayed longer, y'all know. Like, I feel like I was only supposed to stay for like 2.5 months. I ended up staying like almost 5 months in Colombia before I even made it to Brazil. So I booked my flight and I went to Brazil. Y'all, first of all, the flight was kind of expensive. So it's not like It's not like Southeast Asia. So when you in Southeast Asia, y'all know like flying from one place to another is like so freaking cheap. Like it's dirt cheap. You know, even if you don't fly, like if you take a bus, you probably could pay like $10 to get from one country to the other. Taking a train, $10, depending on what part you in, and even flying like maybe $20. You know, girl, to get from Colombia to get to Salvador Bahia, Brazil, that flight was like $570, like legit. And I just did it because at the end of the day, a lot of people kept telling me about this African culture in Brazil, and I was feeling drawn to it. And at the same time, y'all know my black experience wasn't the greatest in Colombia, so I just was feeling like I needed to go somewhere where my soul could be spoken to, if that makes sense. Like I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just pay this money. I got it in my account, I'm gonna just do it. So best decision ever. Best decision ever. Like if you have not been to Salvador Bahia, Brazil, honey, you need to go. Okay, you need to go. Okay, stay to the end because I got some special news about that. Hey, I'm excited. So yeah, if you've never been to Brazil, boo, that place will change your life. Like Brazil, at this point, after being there, I realized like people going to Brazil, I know a lot of people often go to Rio, a lot of people often go to like Sao Paulo because those are very popular. Like legitimately, Rio and Sao Paulo are like New York and LA. However, if you're going to Bahia, Salvador Bahia, Brazil, it's all the way at the top. If you're going there, it's like you ain't going there by accident. It's like that place is so spiritual. When I tell y'all, it's such a spiritual place that like you ain't just going there on a whim. It's like it has called you to come and you just listening. That's the kind of energy that it's on. So I booked my flight. I went to Bahia. And this is the same. Jessica went to Bahia too. So Jessica, she did a study abroad program in Bahia, and basically she still had like connections there. So she hooked me up one time for my boo Maraisi and my boo Brissa. If y'all watching this, hey, I love y'all. Muito linda. Girl, I'm learning my Portuguese, okay? So next time I go there, I will be fluent. Praise God, because I'm definitely going back. Like, I felt like I was at home. That's how amazing Brazil was for me. I felt like I was at home, girl. It was amazing. Like, the energy there was so amazing. Like, when you think of Brazil, people don't be telling you all of this, because, like, on some real shit, Bahia has a big ass population of African people. So you walking around, you seeing people like that look like you, and it's so much love in the air. Like, oh my God, I feel like they just welcome me with open arms. You know what I mean? And they just like they looked at me and thought I was Brazilian. I was like, oh no, I don't even I don't even speak any Portuguese. Like I was still, you know, this is like when I first got there. They was always walking up to me, speaking to me, and I was like, no TNG. Like I don't understand. No understand. No TNG. And oh girl, it just was amazing. Like when I tell y'all, so many divine things was happening for me, and I truly feel like me hitting Bahia at that point was like so spiritual too, because I feel like my first 2 months, not even my first 2 months, like even just when I got there, because like Bahia is the type of place that like a lot of things aren't online. It's still very much like it's a lot of underground things that happen, like not necessarily in a bad way. I'm sure some bad stuff happening underground. However, for the most part, like, you know, they have a underground shopping system. They have like, you know, to finding apartments and things like that. It's a lot of like day-to-day things that you would need that you ain't gonna be able to find online. And if you find them online, it's gonna be way more expensive than you would think, or than you would want to pay. So when I got to Bahia, like literally I had booked this flight, paid all this money, and I still didn't have an accommodation, y'all. Like I flew into Bahia with nowhere to stay, right? So I'm like looking online. I'm like, damn, it ain't shit up in here. Like what's going on? Where the accommodations at? And then I just found, I don't know how I found this place. It just popped up for me like this random hostel, right? But they had like private rooms. And so I went there and I just booked a little Uber, and I went there, and I basically like negotiated with this guy. I never do this, right? Like I never just show up at a place and be like, "Well, I'm staying for this long. What can we work out with the price?" Honey, I negotiated with the guy because I was planning, because like I knew I was planning to stay for like 3 months. Well, technically I knew for sure 2 months, but possibly three. So we negotiated, and he basically let me rent out the room. Now at the time, he didn't tell me that they were closing. He only kept this place open for me. I didn't find this out until the end. This is how divine this was, y'all. Like legitimately, they were closing this property, and they literally it was like it was meant for me. It was meant for me to stay there, because they ended up keeping it open for like, I feel like I ended up staying like 2.5 months before I went up to Rio and Sao Paulo. So they kept it open for me for the period of time that I was there, and I didn't pay much. Like literally, I paid like $200, maybe like $250, not even $250, probably like $215 a month. And it was a very traditional house, very nice. The guy and the cleaning lady, she was so sweet, and he'd always be like cooking me little stuff. And literally, a few other people stayed at the time. However, for the most part, I was the only one there, and it was literally just fresh breath of air, like truly a fresh breath of air. And this was in the Campo Grande. So this is Campo Grande, is like a downtown area of Bahia. I wouldn't really recommend that you stay there though, because at night they sometimes have a lot of crackheads who be coming out. However, I didn't have any issues as far as safety went. Like y'all know, I did have that one moment. I feel like we did do a video when I was in Brazil, at least one live. Basically, y'all remember when somebody snatched my necklace off of me when I was walking, like my crystal necklace. So yeah, basically, other than that, I didn't have any problems, and that wasn't really in my area. Like I had walked towards Pilarina, so Campo Grande is about a 15-minute walk to Pilarina. Pilarina is a really significant place as well, y'all, because just of the slave history. And when you're walking through Pilarina, it has like a lot of cobblestones. Hey, Crazy Bubba, what's up? I'm great. I'm doing absolutely amazing. I hope you all are too. So, basically, they have these cobblestones all over Pilarina. This is how you're walking through. It's no smooth surface. All of these cobblestones were brought by slaves, piece by piece. So it's just the energy there is different, right? And then, like, if you take any of the historical tours and things like that, they'll tell you how the slaves lived in Pilarina. And sometimes it was very, very harsh, y'all. Like, even I just recall them telling us how the slaves would have to carry their masters sometimes up, because like the way that Pilarina is very, it's hilly and weird type of roads. Like it's not a flat surface. Sometimes you got to go up a very steep incline to get to another part. So it's just a lot. And when I tell y'all, the Afro-Brazilian people are amazing. Like truly, I felt like they are our sisters, because a lot of times, like when I encounter African people who are just like, like they are from, like when I say African people, because I mean we all African. However, I feel like I associate African people by like they grew up in Africa, they were born and raised in Africa, or they may be a first generational person in America from Africa. And then we also have, the Afro-British people, which, girl, I gotta tell you this story about this Afro-British girl that I was staying there when I was in Rio. However, I always kind of feel like we're judged, like African Americans are judged by like African parents judge us. Hello, do they have tigers over there? Crazy Bubba, you playing games. I didn't see no tigers over there, not in Brazil. T said, girl, where's my cookie? I don't know what you're talking about. What cookie? So yeah, basically, I just feel like people who are not descendants of slaves often judge us. And it's like it just was very much a big thing where it clicked to me, like part of the reason I feel like the people in Brazil got me so much is because they are also descendants of slaves. I guess South Korea, it's Tracy. Okay, try that again because I didn't understand. Um, I didn't understand. Try that again. So yeah, basically it's like I feel like they get us a lot more, like they understand, and they're walking a very similar journey as us right now, you know, like they still are in the process of getting their own civil rights, you know, like they've been having a lot of issues with their own government that they're still working on. However, it's so amazing of just like how prideful they are in terms of their blackness, how much they love their blackness. Oh, excuse me. And at the same time, how knowledgeable they are. They're not just knowledgeable about like their history. They know our history. Like sometimes I would be talking to Afro Brazilians, and like, you know, because it's a good amount of them who speak English. Also, it's kind of, you know, interesting too, because I remember I linked up with this guy who is basically trying to bring English language to more of the Afro-Brazilian people, because it's a misconception that English is only spoken by white people because they feel like English is a white language, which technically it is. However, it's like not only white people speak it at this point in time. So basically he's basically volunteering English service so that the Afro-Brazilian people can create better opportunities for themselves through the language of English. And so that was the only time that I was willing to teach English. It didn't really work out though, because of the time frame. I was like planning to go to Rio, and then when I came back, it just didn't work out this time around. However, that was the only time I was willing to teach English, and that's the only time I was willing to do it for free, because I feel so connected to the Afro people, and I wanted to give back. So yeah, it just was amazing, y'all. It just was such an amazing moment. And then it's amazing too, because it's like, as Afro descendants of slaves, it's like they kept everything, you know what I mean? You know how like in America they stripped our knowledge, they lied to us about who we were, or who we, you know, where we came from, and our greatness and our power. In Brazil, baby, they are on it. They know. It's like they try to strip them of their spirituality, and they try to strip them of the knowledge that they have of themselves. However, I don't know who was up, what was going on. However, they kept it. You know, like I do know at one point I went to this ceremony called Candomblé. Like I was doing a lot of spiritual stuff while I was in Brazil. When I tell y'all, that was a spiritual moment, and it was so divine. Like even I did my first spiritual retreat. Girl, that it just kind of came to me. I have to tell y'all about that too. So literally, I like Candomblé is like a ceremony that basically they still worship like the African gods and African orishas and things like that. And so the Candomblé, each house has a different god or orisha that they worship. And so the Candomblé ceremony is almost like a ceremony meant to give thanks to whoever the house's god is, or house's orisha is. And y'all, oh my god, I can't even describe how powerful being in that room was. Like it was amazing. And I didn't get any photos or any videos because we couldn't record our film. So yeah, can't even share that with y'all unless y'all come to Brazil, and you know, and I take you there. However, I remember when we were there, they were saying like basically this particular area is now kind of popular. However, back in the day when slavery was very much in effect in Brazil, it was not a popular area. This was more like a wooded, like the woods, basically. Like Afro people were going to this place to kind of get out of the city so that they can practice their spirituality in peace, because it was a crime for them to practice their spirituality. And if they were caught, a lot of times the police would, you know, kill them. They, you know, do different things to them. Like their lives were in danger for practicing their spirituality. And sometimes if they were found to be, let's say they raid somebody's house and they find like spiritual elements or spiritual, I don't know what all these pieces are called. The word's not coming to my mind right now. However, it's like these little pieces that people would have on their altar that may be like 10,000 years old, that's just been passed down their family line. They would like rampage their house and they break everything. So just imagine how devastating that was. You know what I mean? However, whatever their ancestors were doing, it worked, because when I tell y'all, they are so connected spiritually, they are so connected historically. Like, they know their history and they know Americans' history. Like, they are like, it's just profound. Like, you gotta go. You must. So basically, the first little go round, I was in Brazil for about 2.5. Well, I was in Bahia for about 2.5 months. And right before I left, it's like my spirit team gave me a gift. Like, I felt like that retreat was a gift, because when I tell y'all, I didn't even call. I don't know why I'm talking about call. I put in the No Madness Tribe group. I don't know if you've heard of the No Madness Tribe, but basically it's like a private group for travelers. So you have to be added to it to even get into it. So I just put in the group like, y'all, I'm in Brazil and I'm looking for some food and I'm tired of eating McDonald's. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you to heart. Thanks, love. You so amazing. I thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you, girl. I appreciate you. So basically, yeah, girl, I just felt like it was a gift. Like, it just was a gift, because I literally messaged in the group and said, hey, I'm looking for food. Somebody tell me where the food blessings are here. And one lady messaged back, and she was actually the retreat leader. And she basically, we started talking. She told me about the retreat. Apparently the retreat was like $3,000, y'all. And of course I ain't had that money. I ain't had $3,000 in my bank account. However, because I already stayed in Brazil, she basically was like, oh, I'll give it to you for 400 and you just pay for your food and da 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 da. Basically, so like covering the spiritual elements. So I was able to go. And it just was such a profound moment. Like, I met my spiritual sister there. Like, actually, well, a couple of my spiritual sisters. Let me not just talk about Rochelle, because I met a couple of different ladies who I am still connected to and I truly feel like are my spiritual sisters. And it was a moment for us to meet each other and reconnect. Like, our spirits were just, when I can't even explain it, when you meet somebody and you just feel spiritually connected to them. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I was like, oh no, we've been knowing each other. It's just like we just reunited in this plane. So it just was an amazing moment. I also did ayahuasca for the first time. If for anybody who doesn't know ayahuasca basically it's like a poisonous plant that's grown in the Amazon. Shamans go and they pick it and they make a drink out of it with another plant that they make. It's like a two-part, it's two plants that they pull from. One of them is poisonous, and they make this drink, and it's literally cooked for about 24 hours straight. So people have to take a rotation to make sure that it's properly cooked, and they bless it and all these things. And then they have an actual ceremony that normally starts about midnight somewhere in an outdoor setting. And it just, girl, when I tell y'all, I took this ayahuasca and I had a moment where I just felt like my goddess. I was just reconnecting with my inner goddess. Like, I had a moment I cried. I had a moment like singing tribal music that I can't even, like, I was like, where did that come from? Because I had never even, and even like I was dancing at like moments. It's like I was very aware of the fact that I was doing different things. It was just like I didn't have control of my body, if that makes sense. So ayahuasca is almost like you're in the passenger seat, and it's just taking you on a journey to, see what it's meant for you to see during that period of time. So it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And then after that, the retreat leader, she stayed in town a little bit, so we were able to connect for a short period of time. And then she went back to Rio because she lives in Rio. And so she was saying that she was getting married, and I was like, y'all, I was thinking that she was getting married on some like legit stuff. And when I got there, I realized that that really wasn't what it was. It was like more so like some visa stuff. So basically, if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have went. However, I feel like me going was divine within itself as well. So basically, I left, I went to Rio, and I stayed in Rio for like, I feel like I was in Rio for like 2 weeks. Now, granted, I feel like I do need to go back to Rio because I stayed in this area called, let me see if I can say it right because I feel like I always be butchering it. Copan, Cop, Cop, Cocabana, Cobana, something like that along that line. So basically, this area is considered like the bubble of Rio. So like it's very safe. You know what I mean? Like it's not a lot going. Like everything that you need is in this bubble. So I didn't feel any danger at all. You know what I mean? Because I do feel like a lot of times Rio gets this misconception of like it's very dangerous, which I'm not gonna say that it's not, because I didn't hit any other areas. I only hit the bubble, and in the bubble it was very safe, and I was very much so in shock. I stayed at the top of this favela because the British girl who I was staying, well, actually she wasn't Afro, she was more so like black British, if that makes sense. So basically, she had been living in Rio for a while. Like I want to say the retreat leader had been living in Brazil for like 10 years, and she had been living maybe at least 6 years. And she was built, like at the time that I went there, she was building her house. So literally, y'all, this 4-story house at the top of this favela, like, girl, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful house. Like when I tell y'all I had the best freaking view, I'm about to start posting some travel moments from that moment in Rio as well, because girl, I had the most amazing view. Like I just had some amazing views. Like I literally could see the Christ. I could wake up, go to the rooftop, I could see the Christ from one side, I could see the whole bay from another side. Like I literally had such an amazing view of Rio. It was in freaking insane. So that little story I had to tell y'all, because y'all know, like, it's such a misconception with African Americans. So one time I just remember we were in the kitchen and we were making popcorn. So like I never really make a big deal out of it. I just like, like I like popcorn. It's like one of my favorite snacks, especially now that I'm on a more healthy lifestyle of like eating more balance, because I feel like I was fighting it at first. I was fighting this vegan lifestyle. However, at this point, I feel the transition happening. I feel the transition that I will be a vegan at some point. At some point, I'm going to make it to the vegan lifestyle. I'm just not all the way there yet. So I still eat some meat from time to time, but I just see the amount of meat that I eat has been waning. And even like, y'all, I don't even cook meat. Like, I don't cook meat anymore. I will eat it, though, sometimes if I'm out and about. However, for the most part, I'm having smoothies. I'm eating a lot of vegetables, like I'm eating for my energy for the most part. I do notice, I must say though, since I got to Korea, I've been having some candy binges, which I feel like is some spiritual stuff. Like, cause like yesterday I remember eating a lot of candy, but I was stressed a bit yesterday, like when I was like, I was really, girl, I was running all around this city. I needed some comfort, so I was having some candy. And it's really interesting that candy is my comfort, so I still need to do a little bit more research about what's happening on the spiritual realm with that, and like what I need to be doing to kind of detox myself from that, because candy's not serving my energy. And I feel like as well, my spirit team has just been telling me like, I need to be eating more for my energy, like not just my physical energy, but my spiritual energy, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm at on that. And I really like popcorn. It's a really nice snack to have. So I normally buy like, little bags of popcorn, right? And I was staying with this girl, and girl, like low key, she was judging me because I was buying popcorn bags and not like the popcorn kernels. And I just found it to be quite weird, and it didn't bother me because I'm just like, girl, you're old. Like sometimes it be really not that it gets to me. Sometimes it's very interesting when I'm interacting with older people sometimes, and some of the stuff that they'll do or say are just the pettiness, And I'm like, baby, you are too old for this. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, are you not ashamed? Like, what? Like, girl, get yourself together. Like, so she like low key was judging me because I was getting bagged popcorn and not kernels. And I was like, girl, what? What is, like, it ain't no big deal. Popcorn is popcorn. Like, why are you trying to stress yourself out? So she had a popcorn machine, right? This is how crazy this gets, y'all. She had a popcorn machine, right? And she was like going in about this popcorn machine and saying just how amazing this popcorn machine is and how valid she was for judging me because this is American popcorn machine, because it's like, y'all heard of the brand American Kitchen. So she's like, it's an American thing. I know everybody in America has this popcorn machine in their house. And I'm like, baby, sis, do we gotta do this again? You ain't even been to America. How you trying to tell me, an American, what we got in our house? And I'm like, popcorn machines are not something that every family has. And this is not like, just because this stupid machine says American Kitchen does not mean that every American kitchen has this popcorn machine. Girl, it just was so crazy. And I just remember being around her, because y'all know I'm very much so like full of life, right? And I'm very much so like animated as well, which a lot of people like to be like, oh, you being ghetto, whatever. I'm expressing myself as I like. And sometimes when I get really excited, I just be like, yes, honey, yes, like get into it. Do y'all know she started like mocking me? I feel like she was mocking me, because I feel like she would just have these moments where she say my whole little spiel and I'd be like, girl, you're acting weird. You're acting kind of weird. So needless to say, I didn't stay. I was supposed to stay there for like a month. And then like after the first day that I was there, she basically was like, oh, if you want to stay longer, you can stay longer, without even having to pay me anything. It don't even matter. And I ended up only staying the two weeks, y'all. Like, I just felt something was up with her energy. She was going through a little bit of a divorce with the little, the Brazilian guy that she was dating, because y'all really, I went on a few Brazilian dates, right? I dated a few Brazilians when I was in Brazil. However, it didn't lead to anything, because in Brazilian culture, not all Brazilians are like this. However, Brazilian culture, like monogamy is not really a thing that is valued. Like sometimes you may be able to find it, but for the most part, like Brazilians are very much so sexually free and sexually fluent, and nothing's wrong with that. However, at the same time, that don't work for me. So I was like, I wasn't feeling it. And two, I felt like I was on such a spiritual journey. Like I wasn't willing to like I wasn't on a sexual journey, or just like I wasn't having sex. Like I ain't had, damn, when the last time I had sex? Girl, it's been a minute. Like I have not been having sex, and I haven't even been missing it. It's just like I've been feeling like I've been on a spiritual journey, and I really feel like the next person that's gonna get this booty is gonna be my divine partner. I like where my energy is at right now. It's like I can't even fuck with no surface level shit. Like you got to be on divine partnership level for me to even entertain you. Like really. And then I had a moment when I was in Brazil where I just was like realizing the pattern that I've been having with men since I started dating. Just this pattern that I noticed, and I was just like, America has I'm not even gonna say it's just America. I feel like the world has conditioned women to believe that they need to be chosen by somebody outside of themselves. And I'm like, it was like I had a moment where I was like, well, what if I choose myself? What that gonna look like, or what is that gonna lead to? And so I made a commitment to myself to date myself for a year, and literally I've been sticking by it. Like genuinely taking myself out on dates, and not just like going deeper than that, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, if you think about it, like how would your ideal because I feel like every woman has this idea in her head of like, girl, my husband look like this and he do things like this and he act like that and all this kind of stuff. However, it's like, you know, on a spiritual level, to bring that energy that you want to you, it's like you gotta start putting that energy out into the universe. And if you just waiting for somebody to put that energy out for you, like, that's not how you lead to the manifestation that you want. So I was like, you know what, at the bare level, I'm gonna start looking at it like treating myself how my ideal husband would treat me. You know, like how he gonna act, how he gonna hype me up. You know, how he gonna date me, and dating myself like that, showing myself that type of love. And I feel like we don't do that enough. Like we're often in this space of like, I want to be chose, I want to be somebody's wife, and it's like, sis, she gotta get deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, on some real shit, you are important, you are the prize, and you're the deepest relationship that you're gonna have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you connect, I feel like with your higher self and with your inner self, and you show yourself that love, I just feel like everybody benefits. Everybody, it's like you just bloom and everybody receives that energy who's around you. You know what I mean? For the people that you allow to be around you. So that's the energy that I've been on. So basically, I deleted Tinder. I wasn't fucking with it. I was like, honey, all this extra shit that y'all got going on, y'all can keep it. Y'all can keep all this. I'm not with none of it. So that's where I've been at. Like, I've been legitimately walking my spiritual journey. Like, it's like I went to Brazil and my spiritual journey went up some notches. Like, like, really. So that happened. So I get to Rio. I'm staying with this lady. And she was also just kind of saying, you know, how she just loved having this black energy. Because she's black too. However, it's like, we talked a bit about some things that, you know, she dealt with when she was growing up. And her experience as a black woman was just a bit different. You know, her mother was white. So it was like, you know, she really didn't feel like she belonged a lot of the time. So just having, I feel like that black energy was kind of just new for her. However, at the same time, her and like, I can't even, like, it gets so crazy, y'all. I can't even recommend this retreat from this lady to y'all, because both of them was on some petty stuff, and I was like, I'm like, y'all are too old. You are too old to be petty. Ooh, Keisha said yes. Hello, honey. Tahar said that's what I'm talking about. Find yourself, love yourself. Period. You know, period. Hey. Yeah, you gotta look, like, seriously, I truly believe that, like, we have to stop pushing our little girls to be chosen by men and start pushing them to choose themselves. Because it's like, once you choose yourself, once you love on yourself, once you begin to realize that you're the prize, it's like, first of all, we ain't taking no shit. You better come correct. You know what I mean? It's just like the value changes, you know? It's very much a trajectory type of moment that is so freaking important, because it's like, we are goddesses. You know what I mean? We have this God energy within us. So going outside of ourselves for anything is just problematic as hell. Like, everything that we need, we already got. We just got to unlock it. We got to embrace it. We got to, you know, accept who we are. And everything else that's meant to be in our universe will align and come. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So yeah, basically I left homegirl house. I was like, I want to go to Sao Paulo. Well, it wasn't like, when I left, we wasn't on bad terms, because literally, girl, I had got her like a little gift and everything. It's just like, now looking back at it, because at the moment I didn't realize it. However, looking back at it, I was like, something's off with your energy, and I don't know quite what it is, but something off, and I don't want to be in this environment. However, I like this view. It was real nice. I was really comfortable for the most part. However, she was going through some stuff, and she's also everybody's walking their own spiritual journey, and I just felt like, you know, I just listened to my spirit. My spirit's like, nah, it's time to go. So I was like, time to go. Thanks, Bye. So I left there, and then I went to Sao Paulo. Now, y'all, Sao Paulo was cold as shit. Sao Paulo was cold as shit. Yeah, girl, you do gotta watch the playback. It's a lot going on. So Sao Paulo was cold as shit. I got there, girl. I was so unprepared because, like, I didn't Google about the weather in South America. I just automatically assumed it was gonna be warm, so I packed accordingly. And then I get to Sao Paulo and it was freezing. Girl, I was miserable at first. However, as cold as it was in Sao Paulo is a really dope place. Like, I do like Sao Paulo, how even though I won't go back ever again until it's warm. Hey Charlie. Was it real people called or Courtney called? Nah, baby, it was real people called. I know, I be cold, right? For anybody who don't know me, girl, I be cold, right? I feel like on some real stuff, I believe that I may need to figure out what's happening with my iron levels, because I know sometimes when your iron is low, you may get colder than most people. However, no, babes, it was cold. Like, it was freezing. I can't even remember what the exact temperature was, but it was like nobody, like everybody was bundled up. Like, it was cold, 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 cold. Like, Sao Paulo is like New York. So yeah, it was cold. However, the amazing thing is that Sao Paulo is really beautiful, you know what I mean? Like, just the way that the city is built is really big, and all the neighborhoods look different. Like, I moved around to different places at different points, so every time I moved around, I always felt like I was in a new place, if that makes sense. It was a lot to do as well. Like, I was never bored. I was never bored. I was always doing something. I was always meeting some people. So it kind of balanced itself out. Because as cold as I was, I'm telling you, I was freezing. Like, it was almost as if I was in New York during a cold season. Like, that's how freaking cold it was. And I was like, sus, we got to get us a coat and a jacket and quit playing these games. Like, I literally was bundling, like, layering up a bunch of things in my suitcase. Like, yeah, it was cold. However, it just worked out because I met this girl named Hannah, and we actually we went to this beach town called Guarujá, which is about, I feel like 2 or 3 hours from Sao Paulo, because like at one point, she from New Zealand, sis. You know it gets cold in New Zealand too, and even she was cold. So it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me, okay? We was freezing. We was freezing, and they don't have heat. They don't have heaters. Like, I realized that Americans, we got a lot of luxuries that the rest of the world don't be having, because having heaters in the home was not a big thing. Like, all the hotels, the hostels that I stayed at, none of them had heaters. So literally bundling up with them little the blankets or whatever. So yeah, at one point we both was like, nah, we got to get to a beach area that's warmer, and we went to Guarujá, which even getting to Guarujá, it was still like, it wasn't, most of our days it was hot and warm. However, on some days it got a little low temperature, if that makes sense. So it was beautiful there too. It was so beautiful. Brazil was everything, and I'm going back. Like, literally, Bahia has my heart. Bahia has my heart. However, the other places I went, like every place I went, I had a good ass time. And then I went back. So I want to stay, girl, I stayed in Sao Paulo for a long time. Like, legitimately, I wasn't planning to stay there that long. This was around the time that I broke my computer, y'all. And I specifically went there as well. This is part of the reason why I went to Rio. Because I was like, oh, you know, what's the name's getting married. Plus, I can get my computer fixed up there. Because it was nowhere for me to get my computer fixed in Bahia. Because of where they're positioned, they don't get a lot of imports. And when they do get things imported, it's like very expensive. So they was like trying to charge me the price of the computer to get it fixed. And I was like, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work at all. And so I traveled up. I still ended up paying a lot. Like, I still ended up paying, like, I feel like $700 to get my computer fixed. However, we had to do it. I needed it, and I was starting a new a new school semester, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it. So It hurt me though, like literally paying them their money. I was like, ugh. However, I'm thankful that I had it to pay it, so we did it. And yeah, it was just amazing. So after that, I feel like I stayed in Sao Paulo for almost, I was in Sao Paulo for a minute. Like, I even renewed my visa while I was in Sao Paulo. Like, legitimately, I want to say I was there for like 2 months, and that's not what I intended to do. Especially with that weather, I was not intending to do that. However, it just worked out that way. And then after that, I went back to Bahia. Girl, got to Bahia again and still didn't have accommodations. Got back to Bahia, found a place, like literally I want to say I stayed in the airport for like an hour looking for accommodations. And then I found this hostel, right? The hostel that I ended up spending my last 2 months at. And basically it's called Bahia Prime Hostel. So if you ever go to Bahia, this is a really good hostel to stay at because it's in a really great area. It's in the area of Baja. Basically, it's a beach area, and literally when I tell y'all, girl, I was walking distance to the beach. So I was on the beach like all day, every day, like several times a day, like sunset, sunrise, in the middle of the day. Like, girl, it was a vibe, okay? And then I was staying at this place, like I don't even know how I found it. Like, it just randomly popped up for me. I want to say I paid for 2 weeks. And then I realized that all the girls in my room were volunteers, right? And I was just like, well, why the hell am I paying for this? And so I just kind of took a moment and I kind of peeped out the scene of like what was being required, because you don't want to be volunteering to work if it's like some shit you don't want to do, right? So basically they weren't doing much. They were doing like just behind the desk, like they were working on their own stuff, reading books, watching stuff online. And they basically was like pushing the button to let people in and out, because we had like a gated, like, the property was gated, so somebody had to let you in and let you out. And they would like check people in. So eventually I asked the manager, I was like, hey, I want to be a volunteer. How can I be a volunteer? And so now I must say he didn't speak Portuguese. He only spoke Spanish, because Spanish and Portuguese are very similar. So if you speak one, you can still understand. Like, legitimately, sometimes people are having conversations. There's a Portuguese and a Spanish person, they having conversations and they understand. They speaking in their own language and they understand. So the manager was Spanish speaking. The owner of the place, he was Portuguese. He spoke Portuguese, and I want to say he had a Portuguese woman, because I do remember him having a child. However, at the same time, I don't believe he was from Brazil. He was from somewhere else. I just don't remember where, because we didn't talk that much. However, he basically ended up hiring me on. And I remember, the first night that I was working, he had the he had the little he had the little translator on, and he was speaking to me in Spanish and translating it to English. And he just was telling me all the ins and outs of like what I need to do and things I need, just how to start my shift, how to end my shift, and then what I need to be doing in between as far as turning the lights on and things like that, because I would work the overnight shift from like 11. I would go in at 11 and I get off at 6, but I would be working on my own stuff during the like as I'm working. Because it really, when I tell y'all, like literally it was so laid back. Like literally, if in the middle of the night, if I got really tired, I could go to sleep. Like I could literally lay on the couch and go to sleep. Like they was that cool. So he just was telling me, because the manager, I didn't even realize till later, he was a volunteer as well. And so he goes to different places. This is something that helps you save money, y'all, because the biggest expense while you're traveling is accommodations. Like, food is not that expensive. It just depends on how you eat. Like, if you're eating out a lot, then of course it's gonna add up. But if you're cooking most of your meals and kind of eating out when it's like, lunchtime, because a lot of times there's a lot of lunch specials, then you can kind of manage your food intake and your food costs. However, cutting the accommodation expense is a big thing. You know what I mean? It's a big thing. So I wasn't trying to couch surf anymore. Like, granted, couch surfing will always have a special place in my heart because my first full year of travel, I didn't pay for any accommodations because I was couch surfing, and it was great. However, at the same time, with couch surfing, unless you meet people who are like, oh, you could stay for a longer time, normally you're moving a lot quicker because you're staying like maybe 3 to 5 days with a person, and that can be stressful. Sometimes you need a moment where you don't have to leave for like at least 30 days so that you can get into a routine, and so you can get accustomed to like whatever area you're in. So this works for me. A lot of the people who were staying at the hostel were working through workpackers.com, which is very similar to Workaway. I personally didn't like Workaway though. Like, I had a friend who bought me a membership. Like, y'all remember I got robbed in Vietnam? Yeah, so when I got robbed in Vietnam, I had a friend who used to live in Vietnam who had went back to America, and she ended up purchasing me like a year for Workaway. I didn't like Workaway because a lot of the Workaway hosts are like individual people, and they kind of wanting like all kind of crazy little stuff that I'm just like, I don't want to do none of this. Where do she move? You're talking about my friend? Jessica, you talking about my friend? So she was in Hanoi, and then she went back to the States. Tammy, hey! Yes, girl, we in South Korea. Where did you move? Oh yeah, I moved to South Korea. So I'm in South Korea. Oh no, don't. It's no need to be sorry, Jessica. I just didn't understand at first, but we got it now. So yeah, I'm in South Korea right now. Hey, Tammy. That's where I'm going next. Where you going? When are you planning? Like, I have 90 days here, so that's how long I'm going to be here before I move forward. I haven't planned out the rest of this. I just know that I'm feeling called to go to India, and I'm also feeling called to go to the Philippines. So I'm gonna decide where I'm gonna go, and then I'll let y'all know. We'll see what's popping. I don't know, cause this is round 3 of our long-term travel journey. I'm hyped. Like, when I tell you I'm hyped. So yeah, if you make it this way before I go, let me know. Maybe we can link up. Jessica's saying in Hanoi now. Oh, next year. Yeah, my visa ends here like January, and I don't feel like I'm gonna renew it. I feel like I'm gonna just stay my 3 months and then I'm gonna move on. In Hanoi, but next year South Korea for sure. You encourage me a lot to travel, girl. You gotta go live your best life. It's so much world out here to see, and it's so possible to see it. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many options. Like, even just how I just found out about this thing called Workpackers, because this is how a lot of Brazilians are able to travel. It's very big throughout Brazil. However, it's also worldwide, because I even saw some work packing opportunities in Japan. Oh my God, I'm also feeling like, oh, I'm like, should I go to Japan? I don't know, because like all of these places are super close to Korea. So we're gonna see where we're going next. I don't know. I don't know, but we're gonna see. So Workpackers, I would definitely recommend. I feel like it's a lot better than Workaway because it's actual hostels. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna stay at a hostel anyways. So if you're gonna stay at a hostel anyways, you might as well stay for free. And a lot of times the work is like, you gotta look at their websites to kind of see what the requirements are for the work. However, for the most part, it's pretty laid back. You know what I mean? Like, different people have different things, and it's good too because every place has a minimum amount of stay, which most of the time starts at like 4 weeks. So most of the places you have to stay for at least 4 weeks, and then you can extend and things like that. So it was so perfect for me, y'all, because basically I started working. Now, Grace, I must say as well how divine it was, because I didn't even sign up for Workpackers. So he basically hired me. He wanted me to sign up for Workpackers, but Workpackers is like $50. However, if you're interested in signing up for Workpackers, shoot me a DM on Instagram at the Courtney Williams. I got a discount code for you that you can get it for like 30. So I feel like about $39-ish you can get it for with the discount, which I did end up going ahead and buying. Before I came here, I bought it because I know once I leave here, I feel like depending on where I'm going to next, I may do some more work packing in some other areas, just depending on what the hostels require. It depends, because I mean, if it's something like low key, I just gotta open some doors, check some people in, I'm cool with that, and I can do my own work in between, I'm cool with that. So we'll see. However, I would highly recommend it, especially for if you're going to Brazil, but they're worldwide. So whole little blessing. Like, you have some more. It's just a lot more stability, and it's a lot laid back, because it's like, they realize that it's travelers, you know what I mean? Don't nobody want to be doing no hard labor, like, especially if that's not what you done came here for. And it's just, some places will offer some food. Like, for instance, the place that I stayed at, breakfast was included, so we would be able to eat breakfast, and they had like some food that was just for volunteers. Like, he was like, granted, I stayed with the really great guy, so it was perfect. Like, the owner who owned the property, he was really great, and even like, it worked. When I tell y'all it worked out for me, like, literally, it just kind of happened where I feel like all the volunteers left, and something happened with the traditional staff that was working there, where everybody left, and at one point it was only me and one manager, and he needed people so much that he was like, "Oh, can you work straight, like, the next 15 days straight?" Like, every night I basically was working for the last 15 days of my stay there, and he was like, "I'll pay you." So we basically negotiated what would be a reasonable, like, what would I be willing to accept for a day rate, and he paid me for. So it's like, I ended up getting cash money off of this as well, and I literally didn't have to pay accommodations for my last 2 months, so it just really truly worked out in my favor. She Hearts that says, "Do you have any plans of coming back to the States, or is your plan to travel for a long term?" Girl, I'm traveling forever, forever. What you mean? Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, I've always been a traveler. You know what I mean? Like, I realized I had this girl reached out to me when I first was kind of getting my shit together on Instagram and kind of figuring out my theme and, pulling things together. And she told me about, basically, it was like a statement prompt of like how you got from one point to like this current reality that you're living. And I just was reflecting about the fact that, like, I used to travel from foster home to foster home, and now that was my statement. I used to travel from foster home to foster home. Now I travel from country to country, and it's legit. Like, that is, I've always been a traveler. I've been prepared for this. This is bigger than me, and it ain't gonna stop. And even like, whoever I marry, it's like they gotta be on it too. They gotta be on the travel wave, because y'all remember Kelvin? He wanted me to stop traveling. I'm like, baby, do you really think I'm about to give up my dream for you? That's not what the fuck is about to happen, sir. That ain't what's about to happen. It's called work away and work packing. Not work away. Sis. I don't recommend work away. I didn't like work away, but I do like work packers. Work packers is the one you want, not work away. You'll probably be on a farm somewhere doing some. Now, granted, if you like farms and things like that, and you want to get dirty and things like that, then yes, go ahead and head over to work away. However, I like to keep it cute, and I don't want to work. I'm just the type of person that I'm very clear about what my purpose is and what my passion is, and I don't want to be giving no company or nobody else's business or dream more work than I'm gonna give myself. Okay, so that's where I'm at. So yeah, work packers, and make sure you look at their most of the time they should have some type of reviews from other travelers who have stayed there, and also make sure you look at their requirements of like, what's the minimum length of time that you must stay, what do they require as far as work goes, because some of the hostels will say you need to do some light cleaning. The hostel that I stayed at, I didn't have to do any cleaning because they had cleaners who came every day. So literally all I did was front desk work, and it worked perfect. I've worked as a night receptionist before in the States. I already knew what was up, and it was a moment of concern because I was the only volunteer who spoke English and didn't speak in the local language. Like, it was great for me because everybody was teaching me, so I had an amazing time practicing my Portuguese there, because like everybody was talking to me in Portuguese and teaching me phrases and things like that. However, I remember when I got hired on, the manager who kind of vouched for me, he was saying that, like, you know, the owner was a little bit nervous and the other manager was nervous because I didn't speak Portuguese and I didn't speak Spanish. So it worked. It worked for me because it was divine for me to work there. Have you been to Zimbabwe? Is that am I saying that right by chance? I so want to go. I haven't been to any parts of Africa yet. I'm planning to go. I'm planning to go everywhere in the world. I just haven't been there yet. I know this is the year of the return and it's a lot going on, especially in Ghana. However, you know, I had a conversation with with Lisa. Me and Lisa, when I got here, I was having a conversation because she was saying, she brought something to my attention of the fact that I feel more safe going to India than I do going to Africa. And just, I personally feel this way because I keep getting different things. Like when I talk, I've met a lot of people and I know a lot of people who have been to Africa. And even like, I know a girl who lives in DC, Miss G. Shout out to Miss G. I went to visit her when I was in DC. And girl, she did a trip to Africa. Well, she was in Nigeria, and y'all know I feel like a lot of things crime-wise be happening in Nigeria and South America. Not South America, Nigeria and South Africa. So basically, she was saying that she got robbed. She got robbed. Somebody broke into their compound and they were robbed at gunpoint, and it was a moment. Like it was like it was a devastating moment to end their trip. And then, you know, at one point this tour company reached out to me in Nigeria, and he basically was saying, like, you know, just buy your flight and then we'll bring you, like, you know, you just buy your flight and everything else will be covered. And just saying, you know, how I needed security, they'll cover security for me and things like that. Like, that's something, I've never been to a place where I needed security, so that didn't sit well with me. And then it's like, you know, people, every time I talk to people, I get different things, you know, as far as needing security or not needing security. It just seems like a place that I'm going to have to do a lot of heavy research about, and that ain't really my cup of tea. I like to get to a place and let it unfold for me. You know what I mean? Like, I like to kind of just go with the flow. And yeah, that kind of scares me. However, Lisa, we were talking because Lisa's been to Africa. I can't remember what part she's been to. However, she was telling me about, I don't remember the proper name for it, because it's like places in Africa that were colonized by Portuguese and places in Africa that were colonized by like Spanish and British settlers. However, she was telling me that I could hit up all the Portuguese places, which she felt like would be more conducive to my energy, which I agree. I do like the Portuguese feel from Brazil. Plus, I'm like, when I tell y'all, I've never wanted to learn a language. Like, not that I didn't, that's not accurate. I have wanted to learn a language. However, the desire that I have to learn Portuguese is deeper than any other, if that makes sense. Like, I legitimately wanted to talk to these old black people, girl, because even like the old Afro-Brazilians would be walking up to me, talking to me, and I'm like, I would really want to be talking to them, and I didn't understand. So like literally even now I'm still practicing. So by the time I go back, I will be fluent. So that would be so amazing. Like, I feel like when I go to Africa, I'm hitting all the places that speak Portuguese first, and I'm having a moment there. Like all these other little countries that are well known in Africa, I really don't see myself hitting them initially, because they scare me. They do. I have to be honest. They scare me just based off of what I've heard, and not just like propaganda stuff, but just like talking to people that I know. Even like when I first left the country, before I even left, when I was in Houston, I did a couch surfing host, you know, because I was like, oh, if I'm a couch surf, let me try it at home first, you know, at least I know some people here before I go to some other country and try it. And the guy that I stayed with, he used to travel to Africa all the time. Like, that was like his yearly trip to a different country in Africa. And even he was telling me how dangerous it can be, especially when you're traveling through borders and things like that. And if y'all haven't been paying attention, Africa has also been having a lot of Chinese developments up in there. So things ain't all the way right, and I just kind of feel like I'm not gonna know what it's really like until I get there. So I can't even just you know, I just can't even. I know I'm gonna go. I just can't. I gotta get there and see what it's like for me, if that makes sense. Tammy say, child, you know us in Tribe love Africa. I know y'all love Africa. I know y'all love Africa. However, personally, well, I can't even fully say that I know y'all love Africa, because I feel like I got into the tribe, like she's referencing the No Madness tribe group, y'all. And I really didn't, somebody added me to the tribe group this year. I've been hearing about it for a long period of time. However, I was just added like this year. So yeah. Oh, Tammy, you added me. Thank you, girl. I was confused. I was like, damn, somebody added me. I don't know who added me, but somebody added me. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I like, truly, Tribe has been a blessing to me, because like I feel like I was posting there, and I be asking all kind of questions, and people be telling me all kind of stuff, and I feel like the Tribe group is very useful. She Hearts that says, definitely it's moderately safe. Friends of mine had a fabulous time, plus went on safaris. I would be so down for a safari trip. Like, I'm definitely down for a moment in Africa. I know I'm gonna get there. Like I said, I'm going worldwide. However, I just feel like after talking to Lisa, I feel a lot better about that journey, and I'm more clear, because it's not that many Portuguese places. Like, I can count on one hand. Like, it's like the Portuguese countries in Africa, I feel like it's only like 7, or like, it's under 10. It's not a lot, and I would feel a lot better going there knowing that I'm gonna know Portuguese, so I'll be able to speak, and you know what I mean. You know. You know. So I feel good about it, and I just feel like divine timing. Divine timing. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna rock it out, and it's gonna be great. Like, that's what it's gonna be. So what else I gotta tell y'all? So I was in Brazil. I left Brazil. I went home, and I didn't stay home long, y'all. I literally was home for like probably 3 weeks. I wasn't even planning to stay 3 weeks. I was really gonna stay for just 2. However, people was charging me up. They were charging me up because they thought I was gonna stay longer. I am gonna do a video, because y'all know every time I go home, or just recently, these last 2 trips, there has been things on a relationship level that needed to happen, and I know I'm building my communication skills, especially in light of conflict, because I felt like when I went home the first time, I realized that like conflict is something that I struggle with. You know what I mean? It's something that like I was still learning how to communicate properly during conflict, and that has to be separate videos, or we will be here all night. So on the lookout, because it's one conversation in particular that was very profound to me, and I had a lot of takeaways from that. So that's a video that I actually wrote down, and I made sure I made good notes after I had that conversation, so I could share it with y'all for anybody else who is struggling with conflict and communicating during conflict, because that's like a big thing, you know. Like, a lot of times it's like it's all good and peachy when everything is peachy cream, you know what I mean. Saying how you feel is all good when the energy is flowing nicely. However, when things get, you know, when it's an issue, sometimes it's harder to know, like, okay, how am I supposed to approach this? How am I supposed to tell this person that I don't like what they just did? Because that is important. Being able to speak your truth is important, even if the other person doesn't receive it well. You know, like, you not receiving my truth ain't my responsibility, baby. I done let you know, and don't do this shit again, or you gonna get cut off. So yes. So I'll be sharing that video with y'all very soon. Now let's get into some announcements. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, oh wait, before we get into these announcements, I'm excited, y'all. Before we get into these announcements, let me also share with y'all, I got a new tarot deck. Y'all know, I don't know if y'all can see them. Oh, I got a new tarot deck. I picked up this tarot deck when I was in San Francisco. So when I left the States, basically to get to Korea, the best flights were flying out of San Francisco. Like, legitimately, y'all, I got my flight to Korea for $233. I be finding cheap ass flights for the most part. So basically, from Texas, I went to, girl, where I went? I went from Texas to San Diego, and I had a whole day in San Diego, so it was just amazing. Actually, I got these in San Diego. Yeah, I got these in San Diego. So I went to, they had like a little magic store, and then I felt drawn to go in there, and then I found these, and I was like, ooh. And it's so perfect because one, it's in a tin case. If I can open it. One, they're in a tin case, which is great because my other cards got damaged by water while I was on the beach during the retreat. So my spirit team knew that I needed a tin case. And these cards basically have they have a chakra card. So basically it comes with the book of like all the meanings, and it's so good too because basically when you're doing tarot card readings for yourself, like sometimes you may pull your card in reverse, and your card is a different meaning if you pull it in reverse. So it tells you the meaning of if the card is upright and if the card is in reverse, and it has like a little kind of like keywords for that card. Then it has the chakras, and it just, girl, when I tell you this is such a divine deck, like it just breaks it down. And I literally just used them for the first time in a very divine moment that it was like I had a call with a friend who I just was feeling her energy, and I was like, you know, when you're feeling like, oh, is she okay? Like it was a moment where I kept thinking like, damn, is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay? So then I started calling her like, are you okay? And then it was almost like I just was feeling like she wasn't safe. And so we had a moment where I was like, nah, my spirit team is telling me that you need to do some meditation. And we just had a moment. So I used them for the first time, and when I tell you when I was dealing them out, my hand was shaking and just the info was just popping out. And we just, girl, we were doing a tarot card reading for like 3 hours. Like it was deep. So I say all that to say, anybody who know, if you know, you know, I've been doing some tarot card readings. Y'all know I was doing Tarot Card Tuesday on Insta Stories if you've been following me. However, I had kind of pulled back just because I felt like I needed, now I'm realizing what it was is that I needed a different deck. However, y'all know in my store, if you click on my shop, in my bio of Instagram, you can go to my shop, and I have a tarot card reading set up. So my Instagram is at the Courtney Williams. Basically, I'm saying this because at the beginning of the year, well, technically I'm in a transit right now, and I feel like when the transit is over, I'm going up on prices. So if you want to get in for the low right now and do a tarot card reading with this very amazingly divine thorough deck, you should do that right now, like now, because I'm telling you, prices is going up. Okay, prices is going up, sis. Tammy says, do you own a pendulum as well? If not, you should get one. Carry it on your body during the day, sleep with it, then introduce it to your routine. I don't have one, but thank you for that, because I'm gonna start looking for one. See, I feel like even like the messages just be coming to me. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like I'm so grateful that my spiritual journey is happening effortless in a way. You know what I mean? It's like information just be coming to me. So thank you so much, Tammy. I'm definitely gonna look for one. Hey, boo. I want to say your name, Nadia. Am I saying that right, girl? Tell me if I said it right. Hey. So yes for my card. Yes for my deck. Ah! Okay, so I got that. Now the big news. Two things two things are happening. Okay, one, oh, I said it right. Hey. Y'all, I am so hyped right now. Even though our OBS didn't work, I'm like so hyped. Okay, so 2 amazing things are happening right now. Okay, I'm definitely going back to Brazil. Y'all been asking me for a minute. Some of y'all been DMing me for a minute like, sis, when you gonna do a trip? When you gonna do a trip, sis? It's happening. April 2020, sis. April the 9th through April the 15th, I am hosting my very first retreat. Yes, sis. Yes, okay. So literally, I just have to I have to take this energy in because y'all don't know how hard I've been working on pulling all of this together, because hosting a retreat is a whole moment. And I believe that after the retreat is actually done, I'm actually going to offer this to Patreons, where I will teach you how. I'm offering it to Patreons for free. So if you're a Patreon, you'll get it for free, where basically I'll teach you how to host your own retreat, because it's a process, okay? It's a process. However, everything is in place at this point now, so I can share this with y'all. I'm hosting my own retreat, and it's going to be everything and then some, okay? It's such a divine moment, and I'm just so grateful and just so in a good place, and I'm so freaking happy and just grateful that I can share, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm in that place now on my spiritual journey where it's like, okay, okay, we got it, okay, cool. So yeah, basically, when I tell y'all it's only 6 spots available, y'all know I like intimate settings, and I don't like a lot of energy, you know what I mean? Like, really, I've realized this year I am an empath, and I realized part of what it is about me being around a lot of people is that I be feeling their energy, and I don't like that shit. So hold up. Let me connect my charger real quick before my phone dies, and I'll tell y'all everything about where you can sign up, because when it sells out, sis, it sells out. I'm not opening any extra slots, okay? There is only 6 slots available. Let me say that again. There's only 6 slots available. So yeah, so this is going to be an amazing retreat. See, I'm so mad that like OBS wasn't working for me today, because literally I was going to show y'all all of this in the actual live. However, let me just go ahead and pull it up real quick on my computer, and I'll read a few of like our intro and things for you. Oh, girl, I can't even breathe. I'm just like, it's happening. Girl, come on through for it coming into fruition, because I legitimately was just like, oh, okay, Lord. Okay, let's do it. So, yeah, so this is called the Goddess Activated Retreat, because that's the journey that I feel like I walked. You know, I feel like when I went to Brazil, it was such a spiritual moment for me. Okay, phone, you don't want to charge, or what's up? I feel like when I went to Brazil, it was such a spiritual moment for me, and I truly believe that I connected with my goddess. Like, I felt like my goddess just became unlocked, and I just got really deep with my higher self and my inner self. So we're doing a lot of the spiritual practices that I was able to do. So it says, hey sis, welcome to your tribe. Heal your energy and align your beliefs during your divine glow up on this 7-day 6-night retreat. It's time to heal, activate, and charge the goddess you truly are. We'll spend 7 days and 6 nights exploring the heart of Afro-Brazilian culture, reconnecting with your roots, and recharging the inner goddess that's been waiting to be activated, while simultaneously healing and releasing any ideas and beliefs that have held you back from showing up in the fullness of who you are. While you're here, you'll engage in ayahuasca, so we'll do the ayahuasca experience together. Meditation, we're doing yoni steams, we're doing hula dance. So if you've been watching me on Insta story getting my whole life, honey, if you've been watching me get my whole life with my hula hoop, honey, it's time. I'm about to teach y'all how to do that. We're going to be eating healthy, laughing, giving back to the local Afro-Brazilian culture. I know a lot of retreats don't really do this. However, I just feel like I can't come to this country and make money off of them, you know, and bring these women back and not give back to the people. Y'all, I feel so connected to the Afro-Brazilian community that we gonna have to give back. Like, I just feel on a spiritual level it's meant for me to give back. So we're gonna be giving back. And then there'll also be immersive sister circles and spiritual exercises that will assist you in aligning your desires with reality. So the link is down in the description of this video. It's up in there, sis. So go ahead and check it out. Click the link and book, because like I said, there's only 6 spots, and when it sells out, it sells out. That's that on that. I'm not opening up any extra spots. This is my first retreat. Y'all know it's gonna be powerful, and it's just so many amazing things that I have planned. Like, girl, I wish I could tell y'all everything right now. However, at the same time, I just realized the importance of that element of surprise and just taking y'all along on the journey. So for the divine women who are meant to walk this journey with me, I just want to say thank you in advance for trusting me to be your guide and just, having faith to walk this process with me. So that is number one, okay? The retreat is live. You can book. Itinerary is there. The price packages breakdown is there. And y'all got to check out this dope ass place that I found. I feel like that was what was holding me up for a second, because I had to find a good accommodation. And like I said, Brazil, particularly Bahia, things are a little bit older in some sense, so sometimes like having that modern feel, how we would expect things to be in America, isn't always there in certain places. Like, it's there, it's just like sometimes you gotta look. However, I found this an amazing place. Like, literally, we're gonna have this whole apartment building. Everybody's gonna have their own room. And I feel like that was super important as well, like to not have to share a room with anybody, you know what I mean? To not have to have a roommate in your room, so that you can have these spiritual moments, have these spiritual practices, experience this culture, experience, everything that you're supposed to be walking through on a divine level, and then be able to come back and retreat into your room and process it all, you know what I mean, in silence, or however you like to operate. So it's beautiful. And it's gonna be amazing, and I'm so excited. Like, I'm just like, I don't know who's coming. However, I am so grateful for everyone who will be there, because I know it's gonna be life changing for everyone who is involved. And like I said, we're doing ayahuasca, girl. Like, I'm taking y'all to the shaman that I did my ayahuasca at. Like, I did my ayahuasca twice, so this ain't new. You know what I mean? This ain't like I don't know what's up. I did my ayahuasca twice with the same shaman. I trust this tribe, and I'm taking y'all back. I'm taking y'all back to journey with me, so that y'all can awaken your own goddess. And I'm so freaking excited. Like, I'm literally getting chills. I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be amazing. So yeah, link is in the bio for that. Also, I must give y'all a little breakdown about Patreon. So, y'all know, I feel like y'all been hearing me mention Patreon for a minute. Everybody says, LOL, yeah, that's good. Hey, that's my name too, but with an H at the end. Yay, yes, congratulations. Really, LOL, wow, nice. Where do I sign up? Link is in the bio, baby. Go ahead and click the link, and you can get the full details of like the full retreat breakdown and payment options and things like that. So, yes, that's gonna be amazing, and I'm so freaking excited. April 2020, we going to that thing. We're gonna cut up. Y'all know I like to cut up, so it's gonna be a spiritual moment with a little twerk on the side, okay? So yeah, yes for that. Also, I know y'all been hearing me talk about Patreon quite a bit. So we're making a transition. Y'all already know we are transitioning, and Patreon, I wanted to do something different with you all, because like I said, I feel like we are growing into our spiritual support system. We're building our spiritual tribe. We're building our sister circle. And I just feel like it's only right for us to connect, not just on in the virtual realm, but also in real life, you know what I mean? So Patreon is that place for us. It's a place for you to support me and support the journey, because this is a full-time job, y'all. This is a full-time job, real shit. And it's like, there's things that I want to do, and I need backing to be able to do that. It's like I'm jumping, and I need y'all to catch. I need y'all to come on, be like, okay, sis, let's do it. The thing that's going to make this Patreon just so unique is that I'm offering Patreon events. So I'm still building out a few things, so give me about a week to have everything fully up there. I'll touch bases again with y'all next week when we hop on our next live, because this will be back to our normal schedule where I'll be hopping on live on Thursdays. So basically, the way that I plan to do our Patreon events. So there is going to be three tiers, three price tiers. All of the tiers offer the same access. The only difference is that you will get a different amount of raffle tickets. So depending on which tier you buy, like the first tier is only going to get one raffle ticket for an event, the second tier will get two, the third tier will get three for each month that you're a Patreon. Now with these raffle tickets, you can either hold them to submit them for a particular event, or you can put them in whenever you want. Like you have complete control over when you want to submit your raffle ticket. Basically, we'll be offering events where, for example, one of the first events, like depending on, basically they'll be unlocked based off of how many Patreons we have. Once an event is unlocked, then you will have an opportunity to submit your raffle ticket into the drawing, because of course, like, you know, different events cost a different certain amount of money. So to make sure that, you know, we can provide for however many people are coming to that particular event, that's how that's kind of working. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I just got so excited that I can barely even talk, like just releasing this retreat. I'm just like, oh my god. So yeah, so basically the way it works is that you'll get a raffle ticket, and once the event has been unlocked based off of how many Patreons we have, then you can submit your raffle ticket. I'll draw, and then the people who I draw, basically they'll be able to come to that event. For example, one of our first events would be a weed dinner, like a dinner with I can't talk right now. A dinner with a professional chef, which I've actually already found. And yeah, it's like things like that. So like dinner with a professional chef. Let me just go to it real quick, because I feel like I can't even talk. This is also in our bio. This is also in our bio, sis, in the description box of our video today. Let me just go pull it up real quick though, because I want to share with you some of the events that we have popping off. Let's go there. Okay. Wait. Why is it doing that? That's not proper. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm gonna have to go back in and figure out what's happening with the link. However, basically, we're gonna be doing really dope things, like bucket list type things, you know, things that, like, you know, we've been wanting to do for a minute, but we didn't even either have people to go, or we didn't know how much, you know, that we didn't have the money to go, or whatever. Basically, I'm paying for it, if that makes sense. So literally, depending on the events, each event will have different stipulations of, like, if you have to book your flight or whatever. Because like for instance, like one of the events that I want to do, which I feel like will come a little bit further in our Patreon journey, because I know it'll cost us a lot more money, is like going to Toronto for Carnival, full attire, full, you know, everything fully covered. So like events like this, so that we have an opportunity to not only build our community, but also do dope things together. Like, I want to link up with y'all and throw some ass in a cycle, okay? So yes, okay. And then the really dope amazing thing about Patreon as well is that I've been recording diaries for y'all. So around this time that I've been in Brazil, I know I hadn't been posting many videos. However, on the back end, I've been recording a lot about my journey. So you are going to be getting more of an intimate experience with me on Patreon. And just like, all the tea is gonna go there first, okay? Basically, all the tea is gonna go there first. Now, finally, the last thing that I need to tell y'all about is our accountability activity. So right now, I feel like I mentioned it earlier, we're doing the guided meditation, and this takes place, it's happening this week. So the registration form is in the bio, in the description box as well. Go ahead and sign up for that if you're interested. Basically, Monday through Friday, I'll be sending a guided meditation. It's normally about 10 to 15 minutes, and I'll be sending one. You do it, and then you go about your day. This is kind of to help you get into the flow of guided meditation. So if you're interested in that and you want to be my accountability partner in your journey to doing more guided meditation, click the link down below. Don't worry about the dates because we're a little bit like there's an adjustment that needs to be happening just because the internet, like retrograde right now. So basically, registration is still open, so you can go ahead and sign up. And I feel like I'm gonna actually start it off on Sunday. So normally for 4 weeks, you'll get these meditations from me. We'll do our meditation, and then you'll have a supportive group where you can put any thoughts or just anything you're struggling with, or even if you just need some extra support as you're walking this journey. So yes, guys, that is everything. So 3 things. Our retreat is now live. Our Patreon is almost ready. However, it's coming. And our guided meditation registration is open as well. So all of these great goodies are down in the description box. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, girl. Just thank you for being here. Okay, thank you for being here, because this is it just means so much to me. And it's whoa, our group, our supportive system is growing, and I'm so beyond grateful. So yeah, y'all, that is pretty much it for today. Okay, yeah, keep an eye out, like I said, on Instagram at the Courtney Williams. Everything pretty much goes there for now. Insta stories be popping, y'all. Girl, go ahead and get your life on Insta stories, okay? And also keep an eye on the community, because I'll be posting from time to time there as well. If y'all have any questions or any issues with anything in the bio, just send me a DM on Instagram. I check it pretty frequently. So thank you for joining me. And to Heart, thank you again for giving me a super chat. I appreciate you, love. Girl, you always be coming through, girl. Okay, and don't forget, y'all, our next our next giveaway is going to happen at 2.5k subscribers. We're almost there. Right now we're sitting at 1.84 subscribers. So once we get to 2.5 subscribers, I'll do my next giveaway. And I got a bunch of dope things. I got a bunch of dope stuff when I was in Brazil and stuff for all y'all. Girl, y'all know I be finding cute stuff. So yeah, so thank you for joining me. Can we have a dance breakdown before we go? Okay, y'all. Let me get up out of here. All right, thank you for joining me. As always, remember, people will stare, make it worth their while, and I will see y'all later. And again, if anybody know about this OBS, for real, legitimately hit me up. Okay, bye, y'all. Love you.